everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Owen, and I have another LEGO mod to show you guys today. And yeah, that's right, it's my 8 wide Mazda RX-7. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so this model is basically like my 5th 8 wide JDM car that I've built. And yeah, it's been on my list for a really long time, and you guys have been requesting it for a while, which is partly why I built it. And yeah, I would have built it earlier, but part of the reason I've actually been holding it off was because I don't know, I feel like out of the JDM trio, which is the Supra and the Skyline, and this of course, the RX-7 is just like the hardest car to basically recreate in LEGO. And that's because in real life it's got a lot of really like smooth lines, it's a pretty rounded car. But yeah, I think I actually did a pretty good job. And now I'll explain, I guess, some of the features of it. I'd have to say that the best part of this model would probably be the front end. I spent a really long time designing it. And yeah, I think it came out pretty good, and it's definitely unique to, I guess, other people who've built RX-7s before. Alright, so I guess one feature of the front end would probably be these hood vents right here. I don't know, I feel like a lot of RX-7s have them, and I was originally going to use these like cheese wedge pieces, but instead I ended up using these like grill pieces. I'm not really sure what they're called, but I think it looked much better, and yeah, definitely more realistic. Yeah, another feature that this car actually has is opening doors. Yeah, as you can see, they open really smoothly, and actually, I got this technique from Bricks, Blocks, and Mox. You've probably heard of him. And yeah, I used his double hinge technique, and yeah, it actually worked really well. Yeah, definitely added a nice touch to this car because it's only my second car to have opening side doors. Alright, so next I'll probably mention my favorite part of this car, which would probably have to be this rear windscreen right here. And yeah, as you can see from a bird's eye view, it just looks really realistic. Sorry about that, but yeah, I was actually talking about the rear windscreen. And yeah, I think it looks really realistic because of this like rounded profile that it has, similar to the real RX-7. And yeah, also from the side, you just notice that it looks pretty good. And yeah, I guess that brings me to this next part right here, which is these B pillars. And yeah, as you can see here, it basically just uses this little assembly to make both of the B pillars. And yeah, it's pretty simple, but it took me a long time to design. And yeah, I actually think it came out looking pretty good. I guess the next part of the car would be the rear right here, which is actually inspired by Brick Engineering Dude's RX-7. You've probably seen his if you're watching this video. But yeah, I think his looked really good, so I basically took inspiration and basically made like the, I guess, sides of the rear lights like his. And yeah, I think it ended up looking really good. And also it's got that JDM style exhaust, which I think also fits the vibe of this car pretty well. And yeah, it's also got this little wing on the top, which is sort of modeled off of like a stock RX-7 wing. And yeah, it took me actually a long time to design, like surprisingly, because I basically ended up going with the simplest solution. But yeah, I guess it shows that sometimes simplicity is the best answer. And yeah, I just think it looks really good. So yeah, as you can see, it's got an interior which actually does fit 2 minifigs. And yeah, I think that's pretty good for some of my cars because not all of them actually do. And yeah, it's also got some nice seats here, which I think look pretty nice, plus a really oversized steering wheel. I tried to use like a default steering wheel piece, but it sort of got in the way of the door, so I couldn't use it. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze for the driver because you sort of have to take the steering wheel like off before you put them in. But yeah, I think it came out looking good, and a big steering wheel is definitely better than no steering wheel. I guess another thing about this car is the fact that in real life it has pop-up headlights, which I tried to recreate in this LEGO model, but unfortunately I had to make them static and like in the down position. You could probably mod it to be in the up position, which I think would look pretty good. But yeah, I guess that brings me to the mounting of these like headlight or whatever you'd call them. And yeah, it basically uses these like bent lightsaber pieces. Not really sure what the part number is, but yeah, these pieces really came in handy as they're bent to like just enough of an angle to, I guess, put these covers on. It was a sort of a piece that I didn't really expect to use, but actually came in really handy. Alright, so I guess the last part of this car that I'll actually talk about is the fact that I had to use these like LEGO City mud guards instead of the Speed Champions ones. And yeah, I really wanted to use the Speed Champion ones because they look way sleeker and better. But yeah, I had to go with these because basically in real life the RX-7 is just such a sleek car that like above the wheels, there's really not that much of the body above the wheels. And yeah, with the Speed Champions one, you'd basically see like a lot of studs above the wheels if I did that. So yeah, I had to go with these. But I think it came out pretty good, and I actually had to put like a lot of pieces like around it, like as you can see here, to basically fill in the gap. Because if I didn't, there'd just be a really huge gap, like as you can see right here. And yeah, it just does not look very clean with this huge gap, which was sort of a problem when I first built this, as the car didn't really look very clean. But with all that being said, something this model turned out really good, and yeah, it's probably one of my best models to date. So yeah, unfortunately, there won't be a tutorial on this in this video, but yeah, there probably will be in one of my future videos, so yeah, stay tuned, and thanks for watching.